Does talking about Corvettes ever get old? I think not. In today's video, we are going to cover every single C7 Corvette that you can buy, and honestly, my opinions on what is the best one for you. Today, we are driving the 2019 C7 Corvette Z06, so we're getting a bit of a higher up on the scale experience here. But nonetheless, guys, all Corvettes are just so good. It does not matter if you get a base model anything Corvette. If you own a Corvette, if your dream car is a Corvette, then your mind is in the right place, and so is your money as well. So right off the bat, let's go ahead and start off with the C7 Corvette Stingray, just the base model Stingray. Now, one of my first ever experiences with driving a sports car was actually the base model C7 Corvette Stingray, and that was one of the most memorable experiences that I still have to this day. Now, I think there's two reasons for that. Number one is it was on some awesome curvy mountain roads that I really got to push the car, but the second reason is I had my expectations low. Not low, just usually when it comes to Corvettes, no matter where your expectations are set, it will exceed them. Because I did not take into account that car weighs 3,300 pounds, about 200 pounds lighter than the Z06. That car makes 455 horsepower from a massive displacement V8 with quad tip exhaust that sound phenomenal. But that car is you could find one of those between $40,000 and $50,000. Yeah, pretty expensive, but guys, I've driven an enormous amount of Mustang GTs. It is, without a doubt, better looking than a Mustang GT. It is better looking than a Camaro. It feels significantly faster than a GT. It feels significantly faster than a Camaro. It is the next step up in sort of, well, I would not necessarily call this a muscle car. It is much more a sports car than it is a muscle car, in my opinion, just because of its lightweight, agile build and the way this thing looks. C7s are beautiful cars. So for $40,000 to $50,000, guys, even if you opt for the base model Corvette Stingray, you are still getting access to a seriously quick car that can corner a lot better than you may think if you have not pushed a C7 Stingray in the corners yet. It sounds phenomenal, and here's the big thing that makes this conversation difficult, which we'll talk about in a second. That car is really at the power sweet spot. There's a certain amount of power that you simply just can't really use. We're on more open, I wouldn't call these back roads, but they're certainly not city roads, sort of in between roads, if you will. And the Z06 is still so unbelievably fast that it is genuinely concerning pushing this car on roads like these, even though these are pretty relatively open roads. You do not want a cop anywhere near in sight of this car, not only because they're gonna hear you, but if they see you, you are done. The C7 Stingray, you can have fun in that car, both on roads like these and in the corners, because you're not as scared about coming into a corner at 120 miles an hour in such a short period of time like you are with the C7 Z06. Nice little Camaro right there. I've seen a lot of nice cars out today for some reason. But let's move on here to the next step up, which is the Grand Sport. Now, this is going to be between $50,000 to $60,000 used. That's a lot of money extra. And if you're somebody that, oh, by the way, sorry, the C7 Stingray has a 0 to 60 time of 3.7 to 3.9 seconds. I feel like that's worth noting because that's ridiculously fast for $40,000 to $50,000. Anyway, the Grand Sport, on average, if you get one used, you're looking at a price tag of around $5,000 to $10,000 over the Stingray. Now, if you're somebody, as I was saying, that just looks at numbers, you're going to see that that car makes 460 horsepower. So what are you paying for? $10,000 to get 5 more horsepower and a cooler name, more exclusivity? No. That car has a wider stance, more aerodynamics, and the point of the $5,000 to $10,000 extra is, well, for one, yeah, it is a more exclusive car. It is more rare. It's going to hold its resale value better. But that car just has a lot more additions to it to make it better on the track, better in the corners. 5 extra horsepower, you're probably not going to notice that. But you are going to notice the difference when you actually do push the car in the corners. So for me personally, the C7 Stingray was already so good and so much fun that because the Grand Sport is in the $50,000 to $60,000 price range, in moving on to the C7 Z06, this car being in the $60,000 to $80,000 price range, just depending on the spec that you get, the mileage that it has, the owners, how it was treated, etc. I would personally wait for the C7 Z06 if I was getting a Grand Sport. Now, again, if you're somebody that lives in roads where you simply cannot use power that this thing has, I understand. Or if you just want, you like the 455 to 460 horsepower range, but you want the exclusivity, you want, you know, something to feel more special about the car, I understand the appeal of the Grand Sport. For me though, personally, it is either the Stingray or straight to the Z06. So stepping up to the second highest level of the C7 Corvette that you can go is the C7 Z06. $60,000 to $80,000, 6.2 liter supercharged V8, making 650 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. It's hard to just hear those numbers and go, oh yeah, that's a lot. It really realized how much of a step up that is. That is about 200 more horsepower over the C7 Stingray and Grand Sport, and torque as well. Now, you do gain about 100 pounds, but you're not going to notice that weight, considering you are moving up 200 more horsepower. Guys, that is 1.5 times more horsepower. For me, the price of the Grand Sport is too close to the Z06 to not get the Z06. And the feeling between the two cars, the non-supercharged and the supercharged version of this engine, is so massive. Like I said, the Stingray and the Grand Sport will still feel great. They feel really nice when you floor it, when you accelerate, especially if you have a manual, because that just makes it all the more exciting. But when you step in a Z06, this is that level of power that you simply cannot get used to. And that is that's what makes this car as awesome as it is. And also, over the Stingray, the base model Stingray, it's a wider car. You have fatter tires. You have more aerodynamics. So, I mean, you could think of this sort of as just a little bit of a spiced up Grand Sport, except it's got a fat supercharger slapped on it. So it's insane. But yeah, the Grand Sport is, in simple terms, you could kind of think of it as a non-supercharged Z06. And so, yeah, with the Z06, you're paying for the supercharger, and I highly recommend doing that. Both cars, or all three of these, by the way, are going to be very reliable cars. Even the Z06 pushing 650 horsepower, as long as you don't have the OEM wheels that crack, please fix those, because you're actually risking your life at this point by driving with those wheels. If you guys have ever heard of Social Orbit, his wheels cracked and that caused him to crash his car at a pretty significant speed as well. So that is a massive problem with the C7 Grand Sport and Z06 OEM wheels. Have to get those replaced or fixed, or, well, I'll just get new wheels entirely, aftermarket ones. But yeah, guys, the Z06 being at the price range that it's at, well, before I talk about what I think the best car is, let me talk about the pinnacle of the C7s, which is the C7 ZR1. Unfortunately, guys, this thing is, it seems to be more of a collector's item than anything else because of its $140,000 price tag. What in the world? I get it. It's limited production. It's super, super rare. It's very, very special. But that is severe diminishing returns. If I'm buying a car to drive and have fun, I'm just going to get the Z06. I'm not paying double the price just to get a 0 to 60 time of 0.05 seconds faster. The C7 Z06 has a 0 to 60 time of 2.9 seconds. That's insane. Mind you, you have to have like perfect conditions to get that. You're probably still not going to get that, but you need absolutely, you need to be able to floor it, launch it, and not lose a single bit of traction to get that time. But yeah, the C7 ZR1 has a 0 to 60 time of 2.85 seconds. It's like, I'm not paying, it's not all about 0 to 60 times, I get it. But even just the rolling acceleration experience and power, yeah, it makes an extra 105 horsepower. But is that worth double, if not over double, the price of the Z06? In my eyes, you're paying for the ZR1 to have your, I honestly, at that level of car, you could probably call that an investment. You're buying that car for investment purposes, for exclusivity, to drive something that is extremely, extremely rare. I can't imagine buying that car, you know, if you're cross-shopping the Z06 and the ZR1 and saying, I'm getting the ZR1 because it's faster. Again, unless you, yeah, if you have unlimited money, yeah, actually, yes, you are buying the ZR1 because it's faster. But if you don't have unlimited money, and money is in the conversation, the Z06, in my eyes, is just the better all-around value, but the ZR1, nothing competes with that, how rare it is, how special it is, and honestly, the way that thing looks, it brings a tear to my eye. I rarely see those in person, but on pictures, you know a car looks good when even on a picture, it brings a tear to your eye. So, yeah, that thing is absolutely beautiful. And you know a ZR1 when you look at it right away. But, to cover what I think the best value C7 Corvette is, if it wasn't already obvious enough through this conversation, I am really torn between either choosing the Z06 or just the base model Stingray. It's hard for me to decide. I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to what you're using the car for, how hard you tend to push your car, and what kind of person you are. If you're young, but still mature, you know you're not going to do anything too stupid, the Z06, you want that insanity. But if you're somebody that just you just want to cruise around, you want to cruise in style, you want that nice sounding V8, you want to go fast, but you know you're a little bit more conservative when it comes to how you drive, honestly, I mean, the C7 base model Stingray is more than enough for you. Oh, there's a Mustang behind me the whole time. I did not even notice that. Is it an EcoBoost? It is an EcoBoost. Hey, my first ever sports car was an EcoBoost, and that was really a nice car. All in all, guys, the C7, as a whole, you simply cannot go wrong, no matter which C7 you end up getting. But the Z06, at the end of the day, this car, when it comes to performance and experience, this offers the most insane experience, not just in the C7 world, but in the entire car industry. This is the best all-around performance package for the price, in my opinion. But the base model C7 Stingray is not to be slept on, and I think an actual wonderful purchase if you're somebody that's on a bit more of the conservative side. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Which one would you get? Again, assuming price is not, assuming price is in the discussion, we don't have unlimited money. Anyways, guys, love y'all, appreciate y'all. Let me know what you thought of this video, and any other videos you want to see with the C7 Z06. I'm open to make them. And see you very, very soon in the next video. Peace out.